Hello and welcome to the Sleep Station. I'm Nora Nightfall, and I'll be your storyteller for this evening. Tonight's bedtime story about two friends who have struggled with insomnia for years. One quiet night, they set off on a peaceful journey across a dreamy, moonlit sea in their little boat, the Drowsy Drift, guided by whispers of an enchanted place called Lullathorne, an island said to bring the deepest, most restful sleep. They travel through a whimsical world filled with glowing waters, gentle night creatures, and calming scents. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification to be notified every time I upload a new sleep story. Thank you. So, first, I'll need you to find a place where you can get cozy and fall asleep. Are you snuggled in and comfy yet? If so, let's begin. This story is called The Voyage to Lullathorne. On a quiet night when the world seemed to sway gently in its own lullaby, two weary friends prepared for a journey they had only whispered about before. They stood beside their little wooden boat, the Drowsy Drift, its name painted in faded moon-white letters along the side. The night air wrapped around them in a cool embrace, carrying the scent of distant tides and something else, something gentle, something promising. For years, more years than they liked to count, the two friends had known the heavy weight of sleepless nights, hours spent staring at ceilings, minds that wandered when they wanted to rest, bodies tired but not sinking, hearts hoping for rest that never fully came. It made the world feel a little dimmer, their days a little slower. But then came the rumor. Lullathorne, an island so deeply enchanted that anyone who reached its shores would finally experience the most restorative sleep imaginable. A sleep that wasn't just rest, but a soft unraveling of every knot inside them. A sleep that healed. The moment they heard of it, they didn't hesitate. They had to go, and so, under the glow of a silver blue moon, they stepped into the Drowsy Drift and pushed off into the open sea. The water that night was smoother than glass, barely whispering as it carried them forward. The friends watched the ripples spreading behind them, each one glimmering with faint sparkles like scattered moon dust. The sea felt oddly alive, as if it knew where they were going and approved. High above, stars stretched lazily across the sky. Not sharp, not bright, not shouting for attention. They glowed softly, as if half asleep themselves. The constellations seemed unusual tonight. Instead of fierce warriors or soaring birds, they formed comforting shapes. A curled-up fox with its tail wrapped around itself, a pair of rabbits leaning together, a great, gentle bear resting its chin on its paws. Even the moon looked drowsy, its light warm and golden around the edges. A gentle breeze drifted over the boat, carrying with it the scent of lavender and a sweetness they couldn't identify, something like warm milk and blooming jasmine. The air felt thicker than usual, but soothingly so, as though every breath was wrapped in velvet. As they sailed farther, glowing jellyfish bobbed near the boat, their lights pulsing in steady, peaceful rhythms. When the waves lifted them, they drifted upward like floating lanterns. When the waves fell, they sank just a bit, continuing their calm dance. One jellyfish brushed gently against the boat, leaving a trail of light behind it like a sleepy sigh. Hours passed, but not in the usual way. The night didn't grow colder nor darker. Instead, the world seemed to slow. the sky deepened to a rich navy, like ink swirling in water. The stars took on a softer glow, and thin clouds drifted overhead, stretching into long, feathery shapes that looked for all the world like soft pillows drifting on a breeze. The friends saw things they could never explain. A school of fish glowing pale blue beneath the surface, moving as one quiet, hypnotizing wave, tall seagrass brushing the waterline, humming faintly as the wind passed through it. A distant shape on a faraway rock, the silhouette of a great sea creature curled up and sleeping, rising and falling gently with its breaths. Even the waves were different here. Each one seemed to lift the boat with a careful, slow rise, then set it down as gently as a parent laying a child in bed. It became harder to keep their eyes open, harder to speak without whispering. Everything around them encouraged softness, calmness, rest. And then they saw it, a glow on the horizon. At first, it looked like a low cloud shimmering above the water, but as the drowsy drift glided closer, the shape grew clearer, an island surrounded by a soft halo of silver and blue, like a dream floating just above the sea. The trees along the shoreline had silver-tinted leaves, each one shimmering as if dusted with frost, though the air was warm. They rustled in the gentlest breeze, making a sound like chimes half muffled by blankets. Mist curled around the beach, glowing faintly, drifting low and slow. It swirled around the boat as they approached, warm and light, carrying a scent unlike anything they had ever breathed before. Chamomile, night jasmine, a hint of fresh rain, a whisper of vanilla carried on warm air. It was as if the island exhaled comfort. The boat bumped the shore so softly it almost felt intentional, like the island was welcoming them with a careful touch. The sand beneath their feet was cool, soft, and surprisingly plush, like stepping onto ground made of fine, powdered feathers. Each step felt cushioned, gentle, inviting. The air was warm but not heavy, scented with blooming flowers and something soothing they couldn't name. Fireflies drifted lazily through the air, glowing in tones of pale blue and soft gold. They moved slowly as if they too were under the island's enchantment. The friends walked deeper inland, following a path lined with tall flowers that opened as they passed. The petals glowed like lanterns, soft hues of lavender, silver, and moonlit pink. They hummed quietly as though singing lullabies without words. Further into the island, the ground sloped gently upward into a clearing. There, impossibly large blossoms filled the space, each one as wide as a bed, each shaped like a cozy nest. Their petals looked plush and warm, curling in soft spirals. The air around them was thick with a sweet, calming scent that made their muscles unwind instantly. The friends approached the blossoms, touching the petals. They were warm, like blankets fresh from the sun, and soft, impossibly soft. Without a word, both climbed into separate blossoms. The petals shifted automatically, enveloping them, not closing them in, but cradling them perfectly, like hands holding them with infinite gentleness. The scents of chamomile, warm vanilla, lavender, and mint curled around them. The soft hum of the flowers vibrated like a lullaby. The faint breeze stroked their cheeks. Their breathing slowed, slowed. Their bodies melted into the softness. Their minds grew quiet and heavy in the most peaceful way. And for the first time in so many years, sleep came easily, naturally, beautifully. It wasn't just rest. It was release. Every knot inside them loosened, every worry dissolved into the warm air, every tired thought drifted away like a feather on the wind. Under the glow of moonlit blossoms, the two friends drifted into the deepest, most delicious sleep they had ever known. And Lullathorne held them gently through the night, whispering only one promise: "You are safe. Rest now." And now, I want you to drift softly into dreamland. So, until next time, sweet dreams.